this entire the framework of design into this what we call the lifestyle grid, right? And we have highlighted the top 6 points, of how these things led into the designing of the project. So first one is arrival experience. So when we spoke with a lot of our customers, most of them are double income households and people working in the neighborhood in the IT segment. So most of them told that they are exposed to traveling all around the world, right? And then when we were asking them at that point of time, okay, so what are some of the things which you liked when you went to other cities? So they were mentioning the large lobbies and the entire, what we call the point from when they entered the building premises to the point they went to to their home, how that entire space felt. So that is what we thought arrival experience was one very key factor which we considered in Loft. So let me get a little bit detailed into that. And this is what people found very aspirational, and they gave us feedback that this is what they liked in other projects in other countries when they went. Right, so let me just play a video of how that space is looking like, right? So some of the very important things which I was very particular on is having a water body in the beginning of the project. This is something which I found in majority of luxury, super luxury resorts and 5-star hotels, that there is a water body in the beginning, right? It sort of adds to the entire essence and the entire calmness and the luxury of the space. And then even in the video, you could see as the person was walking in, there is a very grand lobby where people are welcomed. So one feels right from the beginning that they're entering into a very luxurious property. And this was a very, very aspirational thing for our customers. So this is one of the render. I just wanted to show you guys one of the render of that entry portal, right? How it's going to look like. And this is that water body, what we have designed there. In most of the places, now that this project we have finished all the design and there's a lot of rendering available, I'll show as many images as possible so that you can get an understanding of how that space is going to look and feel also, which I feel is very, very important. So this is how the entire main portal is going to look like. And another key aspect has been the double height tower lobbies. Again, tower lobbies is something which has become very, very important for our customers. And again, it's an aspirational thing, right? When somebody is coming to your house, your guest or your relative, that is where you can go and receive them, right? So you want the property to leave an impression in their minds. So this is another key thing. So just to give you a brief of where all the lobbies are coming. In Tower A, you can see that the lobbies are, at 2 locations. And then in Tower B, again, you have at 2 locations. So each tower has their own lobbies, 3 locations. So each tower has their own set of lobbies. So at, the experience is same whether you're entering into Tower A or Tower B. These are some of the rendering images of the lobby. Again, the lobby is double heighted, so you'll have almost 4.5 meter of clear height space. Total height is around 5.5 meter, but 4.5 meter of clear height space. And this is how the interiors of the space is looking like. And this is the lift lobby section, right? Again, as you can see, it will stand on par with any of your major buildings in New York and London, right? Residential towers there. So even you can see the cladding above the lift top, right? That's also has been with all luxury materials and all. So that one gets a feel of that they're entering into a 5-star hotel. That's what we want the property to communicate right in the beginning to its users. Right? Little bit I wanted to talk about the traffic plan as well, how it's going to look like. So for the resident and the guest who wanted, you can see the resident entry and exit is marked in purple and red is the way out. And for the drop off, you have a roundabout at the main porch. So, your taxis or any of your guests can get dropped off there and the car can go and park in the basement. And from there, the guest can move into the grand reception. And then from there, they can be guided to the respective towers. So this is how the as to go to basement 3 or basement 4, how do you go there and how do you come out from there, how the ramps are designed. So let me play this small video so that you'll have an understanding of how the traffic flow can be. To exit the building from, you're going to enter it into the basement 1 directly and you're going to exit from the B1 directly. So that's another thing. And you can see the design also, right, what I've played. It's very intuitive designs from the ramps standpoint. You just, the left hand side of the ramps is simply entry ramps and the right hand side is simply the exit ramps. You don't have to, cut across the basements, go from one section to other section and then take ramps. We have, sort of decluttered all of that. So it becomes very easy to, go to the basements and even exit from there. So that was the design of the entire parking plan. Right. Next, I'll get into the next aspect of the lifestyle grid, what I call the living space. What is the sort of innovations we have done here and to, suit our customer requirement and their aspirations. So some of the key highlights, what I would like to point out in this living space segment is this particular project has the largest in segment living room. Almost 192 square feet of living room is what you get. This is the largest in this segment of apartments, 1700 to 2000 square feet module. This is the biggest in its category. Because again, what we have seen is that when we spoke to our customers, a lot of the people now who are coming, their guests who come, probably the guests, they meet at the lobbies or they bring them to their house. So right at the beginning, we wanted to make sure the house looks bigger. So that was one key thing. And again, we have planned a feature wall also, as you can see, a mirror wall there, learning from our other projects, which could be treated really well in interiors. So this is the largest living room in its category. And you can see the floor plan also, this small render about it, how seamlessly it is integrated with the outdoor space also, which I'll be showing in the further renders. And it's like the entire house can come together. You don't have like completely isolated spaces. You have spaces which can interact with each other. Right. Again, this has one of the largest floor to ceiling height in this segment. In this module of 1695 to 1870 sizes, we have the highest floor to ceiling heights. The standard, as you all know, is 3000 mm or 3000 millimeter. In this, we have taken 3150 millimeter, approximately 5 to 6 inch extra space what you get. And that will add to a lot of, it will make you feel much like, much more, I would say much more lighting and much more ventilation is what you could feel in this with a higher ceiling, right? These are the gross height, slab to slab. Net height would be somewhere the slab height would be 200 mm and then you can remove like 70 to 100 mm of flooring height. So in a net sense, you would be having close to 5 inch more space, 5 to 5 inch actually, 5 inch more space than any of your typical communities. So this will make it look much, much more grander. And then one of our best seller and something which our customers have really appreciated and given great feedback about is our outdoor living. Again, we were able to bring the outdoor living concept even to the 1700 square foot sizes, 1695 actually. So that even for that customer, we can give that great experience, right? So these are some of the render of how that outdoor living is going to look like. And again, it has a total glass, railing. So you can look inside out and it looks much, much more modern and classier, right? So this is the view from the family dining room. And again, these houses are designed with the first time home buyer, family of 3 to 4 in size, so that it gives them the right functionality of space. And at the same time, people can, easily interact with each other. Like the entire house can come together in case there's a, larger gathering in the house. So this is the family dining and kitchen, the view of the outdoor living. And then the next thing is the practical luxury. as I've been mentioning in various of other presentations as well, is that keeping in the customer demography in mind, wherein the key aspect is majority of our customers are wife and husband working. So that is a dual income households. And most of them are clocking in close to 50-hour work weeks. So naturally, they would require the facility or the project to give a lot more services to make their life easy. So we have consolidated these amenities under the concept of practical luxury. So the basic idea was people should be going, people should be, to meet the day-to-day requirements, they should be able to go there in within 100 steps or 1 or 2 minutes. That was the premise of the design brief. And this is how we have arranged all those amenities so that people can easily get there, right, and fulfill their needs. So one key thing, as we have been mentioning in earlier things also, is the co-working space. Again, taking cognizance of the fact that close to 80%, 83% of our customers actually have mentioned that they are exposed to hybrid work, and a good number of, in fact, NRI customers also who have been purchasing with us. I've seen that when we were doing research, they were pointing out that when we come to India, like for a longer vacation, like 1 or 2 months, typically we do end, we work like 2 to 4 weeks for their US office. So that they can simply come here and work so that they don't use up the home space, which should be for home activities. So we have a big business center, which can easily accommodate close to around 60 workstations. And we have approximately 4 conference rooms as well, where people can book it and use it. And then again, they won't be bored just working out of the house. So they can come here. They'll have an office environment within 100 steps. That was the idea. So you just take your lift and come to the ground floor. You're going to find it in the urban corridor area, the tower podium level. These are some of the renders of that space. All of this is designed, so I'm able to share the renders. Right. Next, very, very important thing, particularly this was asked by a lot of our women customers, is that the safety lockers, particularly to, store valuables like property documents and jewelry and, antiques, things like that. So in this facility, we are giving provision for safety lockers. And closer to handover, we will be tying up with a banking partner who would be establishing the lockers and they'll be managing it. Next is the salon and spa. Again, these are all day-to-day utilities. What will give you the comfort of living your life easily so that you don't have to, for basic things, you don't have to take your car out, travel 20 minutes and, lose that time. The idea is that you get these things, the basic utilities of life sorted in 2 to 3 minutes. Again, we have a big salon and spa located in the clubhouse. So comes with all state-of-the-art facilities. Again, closer to the handover, we will be signing up with a vendor who will be serving you guys. These are all some of the design renders. Right, next thing is the supermarket. Again, this we have placed in the ground floor of one of the towers. The idea was, again, I've mentioned earlier also, there is a better footfall ratio and the entire convenience becomes better when it's right in the ground floor rather than being in the first, second floors in a clubhouse or somewhere else. So again, this is located right in the podium level in the ground floor of one of the towers. So a big supermarket is there. Just the image. So again, closer to handover, we will be signing up a vendor who will be serving you. Next is the medical office, which again also I felt was a very, very important thing. So this is a place where doctors can come on demand and do, I would say, a basic diagnosis. Like if it's fever and those sort of things, doctors would be here on demand. We will be signing up with, again, service provider closer to the the So again, this also was something which our customers have mentioned that, we have working days, and when the child falls sick or when there's a parent at home, they have some basic healthcare needs. It would be better if we have doctor on call or a medical facility in the premise where they can go and get their, get their diagnostics done. And even blood sampling, again, these days, a lot of sample collection and all of those things also happen. Of course, they can do it at home also. In case they don't want to, they can do it here also. So this is a medical office. So these we believe are the vital important things of a day-to-day life which happens. And this is where we wanted to bring in convenience, because we don't want our customers to lose their valuable time in looking for solutions around your groceries or your basic healthcare or your work from home situation. We wanted to give solutions for this so that they don't waste time in going out for this, and and in some cases the facility not even being there. So this is what we considered under the practical luxury, and we felt important from living a smooth and seamless life. That's an image of that. Right. Next, let me talk about the social life. Right. Again, a very, very important aspect of our modern day life is the entire social life scene. Right. A lot of the customers in this are young couples and young families. Right. And unlike in the past, these days, the way we socialize also has changed. Right. We have people coming over more frequently to houses, and there's a lot of things. And we celebrate kids' birthdays and all much more frequently. So I just want to cover what are we doing around that. So when you have guests coming over to your house, you need not worry about you need not worry about where they're going to, about their accommodation. You've got 5 guest bedrooms in the clubhouse. So they're located in the clubhouse section. These are some of the images of how the guest bedrooms are going to look like. Then you have a big multi-purpose hall located on the ground floor of the clubhouse. So you can do any events here. Easily, I think you can accommodate close to 150 to 200-ish people. Right, and the entire ingress is easier. And it even comes with its own green room, because this was another feedback when we took from our projects where we have already handed over and people are staying. When they're having a party in the family, they were telling a green room was a must, because if not, they had to get ready in the house and then come there, and then it was becoming a little difficult. So this multi-purpose hall comes with a green room as well, so that people can do their entire pre-party prep in that location. This is some of the renders of that space. And again, you can see the entire design aspect has been done by keeping in mind that how our consumers felt when they went to any of these modern buildings in in New York or London and these places. So you can see the way the entire interior design is done from the materiality standpoint. It's very modern in nature and very, I would say, very fine design. Right. Then let me go to the fitness zone. Again, the entire fitness and wellness is something which is very, very important for us, and I feel very, very important for our customers as well, given that majority of them are in the IT workforce, and all of us know that the sort of mental stress which one goes through, and then the entire, these days they say, right, sitting is the new smoking. So it's very, very important to move and get engaged in some sort of sport or fitness activity. So let me give you a detail of what all we have done around that. So in the sports amenities, from a sports standpoint, we have a basketball court on the podium level. This is one of the renders from there. Then we have 3 indoor air-conditioned badminton courts. This is how the space is going to look like. Again, this project we have finished all the design, so I'm able to share most of the renders of all these places, and this is how it's going to look like. And then we have a squash court also in this, again located on the ground floor of the clubhouse. Again, squash is a program. Also, have been, as a requirement, has come up with few of our customers, so we could, in the design stage itself, accommodate in 2022 when we were designing. And then now the fitness zone. So this is all regarding to the sports side. And now let me talk about the entire, the workouts and all that side. So we have a 2-level indoor gym, one of the biggest in its class in this product category. It's located in the clubhouse, and the entire gym overlooks the swimming pool. So it gives you a very, very good, sort of views to call per se when you work out. But again, generally gyms overlooking swimming pool is something where a lot of high-end hotels have that. So we thought we could, sort of imbibe it here. So why not? So it's a 2-level gym. This is one of the levels. So you can see it's overlooking the pool. And this is at the first floor, the mezzanine level. Mezzanine level, we have another workout space, and then even the yoga room. So this is how it's going to look at the mezzanine level. And then this is the outdoor fitness station, particularly used mostly by our senior customers. People who are in the elder, senior age groups typically tend to work out, use more of the outdoor fitness stations than the indoor ones. Right, and then a double-heighted swimming pool, again one of the largest in its class in terms of its length and width. It's close to 100 feet, right, in length. And this is the render. And you can see the gym overlooks the pool so that you have it looks very good. And again, a kids pool is attached to that. Right, and again, the last, and I would say in the lifestyle grid, and the most important thing, given that majority of our customers are in the childbearing phase, is the entire facility, what facilities we are giving around kid centricity, like child centric. Because see, frankly, this is one of the biggest, I would say, requirement from all our customers, and they are one, kids have been one of the main, I would say, very primary users, though they are not the direct buyers. But we have, when in our interviews, we have realized that with our customers, that kids are a major, motivation factor to upgrade their lifestyle. And so what are the facilities we are giving for them? So it comes with the largest, space provision for kids. So we have a creche, because we anticipate a lot of people in this community will be in the early childbearing phase. So we have one of the largest creche, and we have a tuition and a hobby center where kids can do joint project work, given that there will be so many kids, and I presume they'll be in the same schools also, because there are a lot of schools in the neighborhood. So there'll be always good number of kids who are going to the same school or perhaps same class. So there's a hobby center where they can study together, or even have a sort of a home tutor who can come and teach them there, right? And then we have a giant indoor play zone. This is something which we have been the first mover in the city to give this facility, and kids are really loving it. So let me quickly go through it. So it's all these put together, and we have a big outdoor kids play area. All this put together, close to 22,000 square feet of space comes in. So this is the creche, again, strategically located on the ground floor of one of the towers. And the idea was this should be very, very close proximity to the co-working space. Because when we were visualizing this, we were visualizing a scenario where the mother particularly is working from the co-working space, and the kid is just 50 or 100 feet away from her in the next hour itself. She can just go check on the baby. So that was one of the key purpose. So the creche in this project is located on the ground floor and the podium floor underneath one of the towers, and the co-working is also located on the ground floor in just the beside tower. Some of the renders. Again, closer to the handover, we will be bringing in service providers to operate these spaces. This is outdoor kids play area. This is the tuition and hobby center, again located in the ground floor of one of the tower. Right here, any sort of kids can do combined project work, or if they have a tutor at home who will be, they can take those, they can operate from this place rather than occupying home space. They can do their studies and those sort of things from here. Some of the renders of how that place looks like. And actually these days, just before I go to the next one, these days I've seen that in a lot of communities, there are a lot of service providers who are coming and providing weekend activity. Like recently I've seen my son go to a Ganesha making activity now that Vinayaka Chaturthi is coming. So they hosted, so I think this was in their school, if I'm not wrong. But even in some communities also these days, there are this third-party vendors and service providers who are offering weekend activities like story reading and some sort of Lego making, these sort of things. So all of those kid activities can be conducted from this space. And then this is the indoor play zone. So this I'm just showing how it's going to look like, because the exact design for this site is not yet done. But this is the indoor play zone which we executed in Spire, and as you can see, it mainly caters to kids in the age group of 1 to 5. We have seen that the way they play is different. So we have built this, and what we see typically in malls, So we have given this. In fact, this is the only community in the city which currently operates such a facility, Spire. But then this is there even in Loft as well. Right? You can see how the kids are playing. And again, this is designed by specialized vendors. So there is a role play based design also. You can see in the far right, there's kitchen. I think that is hospital. So, there's a particular way how kids play, and then they have built this. Right? Now, let me go to the next phase, which is to talk about the clubhouse. Some of the aspects of the clubhouse I've already covered in the lifestyle grid, but I'll quickly run through so that you have a understanding of, from a simple clubhouse, understanding of the entire clubhouse as its own self. Right? So again, it has one of the largest clubhouse space in this category, 55,000 square feet of clubhouse space. And to add to that, you have close to 40,000 square feet of amenities underneath the towers, what we call the urban corridor. So put together, both of these constitute 95,000 square feet of amenity space, which is actually 5.3% of amenity space on a super built up. The total project built up square feet is 15.5 lakhs. And 95,000 is close to 5.2, 5.3%. So it's the highest in this entire class, actually 6%, sorry. So it's highest in the class. No other project in the city has this high ratio of amenity space on a super built up. And you can see because of the high space, we were able to accommodate various facilities, both for kids and for adults, and new age facilities like the co-working and the medical office as well. Right? But yeah, the clubhouse by itself is 55,000 square foot and it's 4 floors. So this is the ground floor. I'll quickly go through this. Some of the places where we have the render I would like to share. So this is the lobby in the ground floor. And right beside this is the multi-purpose hall. So this is what your guests would be experiencing when they are coming to a party which you are going to host. It's as good as any 5-star hotel one can come across. Right, this is a multi-purpose hall. This is a squash court. I think this is a stock image what we put here. And then the first floor, you have the gym and the swimming pool. So the swimming pool is a double height swimming pool. It's again one of the largest in its category, close to I think 100 feet in length, 95 to 100 feet in length. And then you have the gym looking over the swimming pool also. This is the gym. And the second floor, you have half of the floor which goes to the gym section, and the other half you have the salon section. This is the yoga and aerobics hall in the second floor. This is the gym section. This is the salon. And then comes the third floor. The third floor is simple. You have indoor sports like badminton court and the kids play zone. What I've shown you earlier. This is the badminton courts. You have 3 and all of them are, the entire space is air conditioned. Again, in terms of the number of badminton courts also, this has the best ratio in any project in the city currently. This is the indoor play zone area. And then the fourth floor, we have the entire guest rooms, and I believe the medical office is also in the fourth floor. These are the guest rooms and the medical office. So yeah, so that's it from the product side. I wanted to explain this entire lifestyle grid in line with the first-time home buyer. So who is our fundamental our customer, and then how we address their solution using a framework called the lifestyle grid. So, and just before I move on to the next section, which is about the long-term investors and and giving a framework for rental investors, I just wanted to share this thing. So these are, again, given that we are in the heart of the financial district, surrounded by all these companies. So these are the companies from where most of our buyers are currently, those who have bought. So you can expect your neighbors from these working in these companies, and roughly most of the age group is around that 35-ish, right? So let me get into this, the second customer group, which was around the long-term investors or the rental buyers. So these are people, essentially, as I mentioned earlier, these are people who are looking to establish alternate income, right? Typically their age groups are around 45 to 55, and they're looking to develop an alternate income because they're expected to retire in the next 7 to 10 years. And a good number of NRIs also fall in this category where they are looking at, let me buy a property, and maybe if I go back to India in 5 to 7 years, until then lease it, and when I move back, I'm going to enjoy the property for myself. So even to address their needs also, we have built a framework called the investment grid, in which we have broken down into 5 chapters: connectivity, nearby offices, social infra, walkability, and a rental analysis, what I could do from data available online, to give you a perspective of what is the possibility one can do with this project. Right. Firstly, let me talk about the connectivity aspect. Right. We have shot some videos of how the location of the neighborhood, how the site is located. So let me play that. This is how you can, the approach to the site from the Gachibowli junction is, right? Now let me play a connectivity video from the ISB junction. So this is the new mega downtown in making. So another very, very important aspect of this entire location, right, from a connectivity standpoint, and how important is connectivity for investment, for higher ROI. So as you could see, we are in close proximity to ORR, and connecting to ORR via 100 feet roads that are like 6-lane roads, right? And you can connect to ORR on either side in a matter of like 3 to 5 minutes. That's one key advantage. And another key thing which the government have announced and work is probably going to start is the metro connection from KPHB to financial district. This is something which will further boost the entire job generation in the area. See, Hyderabad, what's happening is 2 things. One, majority of the commercial leasing, unlike Bangalore, where it's happening all around the city, in Hyderabad, given the infrastructure which is already in place, majority of the commercial leasing is happening in 2 micro markets. One is Raidurg, other is financial district. And Raidurg is also around like 15 to 20 minutes away from financial district. When it comes to Raidurg, currently there is no new space. It's all leased out. There's no vacancy. And at the same time, there is not much housing there at all. The next set of leasing is all begun to happen in financial district, because that is where the supply of offices and supply of homes is also there. And you all know offices, when they are signing up leases, companies, one of the key things they look at is availability of housing for their employees. So that's how now financial district is the second biggest market, and we're going to perform much, much better. So, and Hyderabad itself at a city scale, we are doing close to 11 to 12 million square feet of leases. Again, to put in perspective, for every million square feet of lease, you will be having 10,000 employees. Companies typically take up space 100 square foot per person. So for every 1 million square feet, you have 10,000 employees. So roughly 10 to 12 million square feet of space is getting leased. It means there's going to be a job generation of 1 lakh to 1,20,000 jobs, in I would say 3 to 4 quarters from when it is leased. And Raidurg and after that Financial District are the two micro markets where I would say 100% of it is being leased between these two. Currently, both of them are standing at 50-50. Close to 5 lakh square feet is being leased in Raidurg, and close to 5 lakh square feet is being leased in Financial District. And Raidurg doesn't have any new supply. So future you will be seeing a lot more leasing happening in the Financial District only. And of course, the metro connectivity to the space will further boost that entire leasing thing, because these days companies are looking for metro connectivity for their employees, right? And I mean, this is already awarded also. I think work is probably going to start soon. Then nearby offices, because again, when somebody is buying with a rental perspective in mind, it's very, very important to keep in mind that what is the job generation happening in the neighborhood, because ultimately only when the job generation is high can people come. I mean, the rental demand can be expected to be higher. So most of you already know this. The Financial District, as the name also suggests, is the epicenter of most of these offices. So I don't think I need to probably mention in detail, but yeah, we have close to 50 plus offices and annual leasing of close to 5 to 6 lakh square feet only in this neighborhood. So you can presume that close to 50,000 to 60,000 new jobs are getting generated only in this neighborhood. Some of the key things I would like to highlight is Google is planning to build their biggest headquarter after the one in US in this neighborhood, right? Google, the Googleplex, I think that's what it's called. Work also is under process. There's a NVIDIA office, Apple, Microsoft has a very big presence here. So these are some of the new leases which got signed up. Again, you have companies from IT services to IT products. And again, it has become sort of a hotspot for GCCs also. I mean, currently India is going through a GCC boom all across the country, and Hyderabad is the second in the nation. Yeah, in this particular, recently McDonald's has taken up, Costco has taken up space, right? Again, broadly, I'm just iterating, right? Google, Microsoft. So you can see, right, you've got all sort of global MNCs located here and huge workforce and base setup here. And hence the demand would be very, very high from a rent standpoint from new employees. And the social infra, again, see, something which is very, very important and quite a lot of times overlooked is the social infra. Because what we have seen when we did research is that a lot of the IT, people working in the IT segment are high income earners. And high income earners require a lot of social amenities like F&B, schools form a major part, right? They want schools to be closer so that, it's easier for the kids and they don't have to really drop off. Of course, there are bus services, but it's much better if the schools are closer. And then another very, very important thing is for the entire weekend activity, there needs to be a lot of F&B, restaurants and screens, multiplexes, which can really, which is what their need is, which can cater to their lifestyle. So that also we have mapped. So we have close to 15 plus schools in the vicinity. Some of them are in like 5-minute walk away, like Future Kids School and Keystone. It's simple, like a 5-minute walk. You don't even have to remove your car. And then 20 plus F&B spaces. In fact, over the last 1 year, there's been a F&B wave here in this neighborhood. A lot of new spaces have opened up, breweries, clubs, and restaurants. So yeah, a lot more is going to happen as the time comes by. This is what has happened predominantly in the last, I would say, 1 year. But as we move towards handover, which is next year, December, a lot more things will happen. But yeah, so close to we have 20 plus F&B spaces, all the top brands in the city operating from here. Right? So another very, very important thing I wanted to point out is the importance of walkability to the rental investor, which is I've never spoken about, or probably people are not totally aware of it. So I thought I found it interesting when I was doing my research on this. So I thought I'll share it with you. So two key projects, the Prestige SkyTech IT Park, which is 400 meters from Loft, and the next one, Kalyani IT Park, that's 250 meters from Loft. In between these two buildings, Prestige IT Park is close to 2 million square feet, and the Kalyani IT Park is also 2 million square feet. The Prestige IT Park is almost 90% leased. You have all the GCCs and insurance companies who have taken up space there, essentially the tech center. And close to 20,000 people will be working once these offices start operating. I think already 30% of the space is under operations also. Right, so in between, again, this, then the Kalyani IT Park. So in between both of these buildings put together, you are looking at 2 plus 2, 4 million square feet, and going by the calculation of 100 square feet per employee, close to 40,000 people will be working in just these two buildings. And this would be one of the very, very few projects where you could literally walk to work. Right, the same case is not true for most buildings in the neighborhood. Let's say if some project is on the other side of the ORR, then you have to pull your car out and then go through the entire car grind. But yeah, between these two IT parks, there are like maybe 2 or 3 projects only where people can stay and directly walk to work, which will offer that extra premium from a investment standpoint. So I thought I'll share this with you. So this is the Prestige SkyTech thing. So, and the final thing, rental analysis, given that this is a customer base who are looking to, develop an alternate income source, which will come in handy once they plan to retire. As I've mentioned earlier, most of these people are 45 plus, 45 to 55. So this is most likely going to be their second or third home, and we categorize them under the long-term investors. So a little bit analysis, what we have done, I think the source is also Magic Bricks and these online portals, the listings, various listings, what we analyzed, and we plotted these things. This is how the rentals are standing out. And as you can see, the highest is financial district, and it's a no-brainer. It's closest to office. So you can see the closer to office, the higher the rent. Your ability to walk to office, much higher the rent. So this is a broad plot. Another interesting thing also I found out from a rental standpoint is the supply of, units also from a renting standpoint is very, very low in financial district. In fact, most of the supply has just been in our projects. All the newer projects are operating at larger sizes, which are more end user, and like a typical renter will not be staying there. So even that's pointing out in the data also, 1700 to 1900 square feet to a 1900 to 2000 square feet, there's no real difference in rental amount. So the smaller size offers higher renter per SFT, thereby offering higher ROI. So that's what I thought I'll share with you. And another interesting thing also I thought I'll pick up in this is that the entire concept of residential versus commercial rental analysis. Right, I see a lot of people, they buy commercial properties with the expectation of they can get a 50 rupee rental, right, to develop their rental portfolio. But I've done a vis-a-vis comparison on how residential is performing vis-a-vis the commercial, right? Residential also in this particular pockets of financial district where you can walk to work, the rental can be expected of 50 rupee per SFT per month. I can boldly say that because I've read through all the data. So that can be a good expectation. Actually, in commercial also, that's what people have been, sort of their expectation. But in a lot of commercial projects where people have been investing from a rental standpoint, especially when they're buying one floor plate amongst multiple, multiple owners, it's becoming a challenge. So leasing in residential is in your control. So you can get a tenant, right, where you work with, portals, or you have rental agencies, tenancy agencies who will source you a tenant. In the case of commercial, that is very different. You cannot directly lease your property, especially if you have an undivided ownership of space. That will be leased by the builder in a holistic case. So you don't have much control over it. Another thing is selling of spaces, and this is easier because it's essentially you're selling your apartments, defined space. Whereas in commercial, it's much more difficult, especially if your share of space is undivided, it gets very difficult to sell. And then in residential, you can see the ownership is identified, right, which is your flat. In commercial, again, the ownership is not identified, thereby making it difficult to sell also. So what I could see from the data collected was that in certain pockets of financial district, the residential rentals are providing a much better quality of return than the commercial properties as well. right? So before I end my side, so I just thought a little bit talk about the handover. So the project is going as per schedule. I think Tower A will be reaching the 30th floor slab casting milestone in maybe a week or two, and then Tower B another week or two from there. So it's currently as per schedule, and December 26th is when we'll be doing the handovers. So before I sign off, all the research what we have done from a first-time home buyers I've presented using the framework of lifestyle grid, and all the analysis research what we have done from the long-term investor I've presented. So all of this research, is what consolidated into the product, and I just wanted to share the walkthrough video of this project so that you get an understanding of how it is going to look like. Is it playing? You can take me off the screen. Right. So thank you for all the people. Thank you and welcome to ASBL family for all the new customers and people who are already our customers. Thank you for joining. So before I move on, in case any of you want to have any doubts or queries, particularly regarding your unit or anything, you can reach out to our sales manager. I'll just be on the slide for 30 seconds. So for those of you needed, you can note down their numbers. So any particular specific information, you can reach out to them. Right. So now let's head into the next section, the Q&A section. So you can scan the QR and the questions will start popping up and I'll start answering. Yeah.